Hi everyone, Baker on the Dark Side. We're going to do an Is It Healthy segment. We're going to do a breakfast one today. We're going to do two for the price of one. So we're going to have Wheaties protein cereal. So Wheaties, as you know, was always touted as the breakfast of champions. And now they've added protein. So I thought I would try it. I don't remember having Wheaties when I was a child. I'm sure I had those sugar cereals. But it says here that it's sweetened with honey. It says that you get 1 whole cup per serving. That's nice. Only 5 grams of added sugars, 220 milligrams of sodium. It's a little bit high, but not terrible. 4 grams of saturated fat. I'm not sure, it's honey pecan, so maybe the pecans are adding to it. I'm not quite sure what's adding to the fat there. And then it says 1 whole cup is 280 calories. So it's a little bit on the higher side, probably because of the nuts. So that's the stats for those. Let's see, it says it has 5 grams of fiber, 21 grams of protein, and 6 grams of sugar total. It has honey pecans, it has pumpkin seeds, and it's sweetened with honey. So that's where your added sugars are coming from. So let's see the stats. So like they said, 1 cup is 280 calories. It has 12 grams of fat. So that's really interesting to me that the cereal has that much fat, because typically cereals don't have a lot of fat, except for maybe granolas sometimes. Then we have 4 saturated fats. We have 0 trans fats, 1 polyunsaturated, 1 monounsaturated. Cholesterol is 0. Sodium, as we said, was 220. We have 28 carbs, so it's not low carb. There is 5 grams of fiber, so that brings you down to 23 carbs. But for the low carb people, this is not the cereal for you. Generally, not many cereals. We have the 5 grams of fiber, the 6 grams of sugar, and 5 of them are added sugars, which they're saying is from the honey. We'll see if that's true later. Then we have protein, 21 grams. So that's a good amount of protein in there. We have now, like, cereals are generally fortified with a lot of vitamins, and I would expect that this will be too. So we have vitamin D, we got 30%. We've got calcium, which is 10%. You've got your 100% of your iron requirement. For if you guys have a low iron, this is the cereal for you. Then you've got potassium, 4%, vitamin A, vitamin C, and riboflavin and niacin are 10%. You've got thiamine, which is 20%. You've got B6, which is 20%. You've got folate, which is 20% for the pregnant ladies out there. Then you have your B12, which is 20%, phosphorus 10%, magnesium 15%, and zinc is 20%. So definitely a lot of vitamins. And that's not including the vitamins you would get from whatever milk that you're adding to it. So then we have the ingredients. So we have whole grain wheat is the first ingredient. Nice. We have vital wheat gluten. Okay, whatever. Pecans, honey, soy protein isolate. So if you are allergic to soy, this is not your cereal either. Pumpkin seeds, coconut oil. So the coconut oil is what's bringing the saturated fat. Coconut oil, if you didn't know, is definitely a lot of saturated fats. We have wheat bran, fiber. We have inulin, salt, malted barley extract, and natural flavor, whatever that is. Vitamin E, and that is for freshness. So it does contain the wheat, pecan, soy ingredients if you have those allergies. But it does say the ingredients are derived from bioengineered sources, so not all natural, so just keep that in mind. But I mean, overall, for a cereal, it's got some good stats. It's got a few that are a little borderline, but I will say that you know, overall compared to most cereals, it's not bad at all. All right, so, you know, now I'm all about amping up the protein. And I've been doing this for a while, that when I do have cereal, I typically will use an almond or a coconut milk that's unsweetened. So this one has Nature's Promise. It's 30 calories. You know, almond milk, I think unsweetened is pretty much across the board the same as far as things. I usually go for coconut, but this was on sale. But what I usually do is just a little bit of this, and then I typically add some kind of refrigerated liquid vanilla protein. I find it adds the flavor, it amps up the protein. I mean, I'm not going to use this whole thing. I could, but I'm not going to because it does pack on the calories. I mean, this bottle, this one is the Shamrock Farms Rocking Protein, 30 grams, but it has 190 calories. So I'm not going to put a ton in here, but the whole bottle is a serving, and it has 3.5 grams of fat. So you're kind of adding more fats in there. You've got 2 saturated, so more saturated fat. You got 0 trans, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, but this has 290 milligrams of sodium. So like, would you think that this would have sodium in it? No, read your labels. Then we have 12 carbs, 3 grams of fiber, interesting, 7 grams of total sugars, but none of them are added. So it's probably coming from the milk product. And then we have 30 grams of protein. So I will probably use like a third of this. As far as vitamins, it does give some more vitamin D, which is 10%. It gives 60% of your calcium allowance. Interesting. Then we have a little bit of iron, 2%, potassium, some more potassium, 15%, vitamin A, 20%. You've got your thiamine, riboflavin, 15%, phosphorus, 40%, magnesium, 10%. So you're getting a few more vitamins. I will probably use a third of this. So I'm going to say that I'm going to get, 10 more grams of protein added on to that 21 grams. So 31 grams of protein in a cereal, that's a good deal. What are these guys tote at Shamrock Farms? They are based out of where? Where are they based out of? Let's see. Shamrock Farms. Interesting. I don't know. I can't tell. There is no address on here. Interesting. No address. Don't know. So it's BPA free, they say, and it's a reduced sugar product. They do make another one that is 42 grams. All right, so what are the ingredients in this? So we got water, we got skim milk, we got milk protein concentrate, we got cream, soluble corn fiber, that's where the fiber's coming from. If you're allergic to corn though, not your thing. Contains less than 1% of natural and artificial flavors, salt, sucralose, not my fave, carrageenan, I can never say it, lactase enzyme, and who knows what that is, I don't know, I'm gonna go with it, probably the thing that makes people lactose intolerant, and we have vitamin D3, so, and it also contains milk. All right, so this comes from a dairy farm. Like I said, it's kind of interesting that there is no address. So they've been around since 1922, they say. Okay, all right, so the first thing I'm gonna tell you is what's really interesting is that this box, right? How many ounces is this? This box is 16.4 ounces, 1 pound, 4 ounces, 0.4 ounces. And this is really almost full to the top. I was really surprised. You know how when you open your cereal, like it's like halfway? This one is actually loaded almost to the top. So that's interesting. This cereal was $6.99, which is cheaper than most of the protein cereals out there. Most of them are between $8.99 and $9.99. And then these are little Wheaties chips. All right, so it says you get a whole cup. So we're gonna measure that out and see what that looks like. And it looks like Wheaties with a lot of pumpkin seeds and stuff in it. All right. Did you ever measure out your cereal? What the real portions are? A lot of times it's like 2/3 of a cup. All right, here it is. That's what it looks like. I got you a clear bowl so you can see. That's what it looks like in there. All right, looks pretty good. Yeah, all right. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put in, let me see, a third of this, 12 ounces, so that's gonna be a 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of protein shake. And I'm going to mix it with probably another, I'm gonna try another 1/4 cup of the almond milk. I usually mix them together, and then I pour them in the cereal. So that looks like, you know, that's a 1/2 cup of liquid. 31 grams of protein in this. All right, I'm gonna stir it up a little. Definitely crunchy. All right, what does it taste like? Does it taste like cardboard? What does it taste like? Mm-hmm. It's very crunchy. You can taste the honey right away. Very nutty. You know, the pecans, the pumpkin seeds. It's actually quite delicious. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite delicious. Mm-hmm. Hear the crunch? Yeah. How many servings in this box? 7 servings in this box. So a week's worth of protein cereal. Yeah, I mean, I would buy it again. I definitely would. I think it tastes better than the regular Wheaties, to be honest. I mean, the regular Wheaties was just the flakes. I like the pumpkin seeds. I like the pecans. And I like the honey. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Wheaties protein. Get yourself a box. Give it a try. And it's cheaper than most cereals. Thanks for watching Baker on the Dark Side.